My name is Courtney Burns. I'm a sophomore marketing major from Noonan, Georgia.
Hi, my name is MK King. I'm a graduating senior from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm studying marketing.
My biggest piece of advice to give to my parents if I could go back would be to let me make choices, but know when to step in, or don't be afraid to step in.
I would definitely let them make mistakes. You can only learn from the mistakes you make. If you never make a mistake, you're never learning.
It's hard for me too to ask for help, so it really takes a while for me to ask them for help. But just to, a lot of times when I close off from them, it's kind of more when I need them to step in the most.
My name is David Ndozi. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm a political science major.
Hi, my name is Hannah Elliker. I'm about to be a junior. I'm an anthropology major, and I'm an orientation leader. My advice for parents about to send their students to college is just to take a step back now, so that you prepare yourself and that it's preparing them to make the choices that they're about to make, because once you get here, it's all on them.
The biggest advice I would give to parents is relax and trust your students, because college is where they get to learn how to develop and explore themselves. So I would say give them a chance and just trust them.
You can't be here to bail them out anymore, and it'll just really help them in the long run.
They're gonna have changes, be it good or bad. You just have to accept the change and just go with the flow, but mostly trust your students.
I really love that my family was very involved in the decisions I made and whatnot, but they never tried to make the decisions for me. They kind of left they had their input, but it was more of a what you want to do to make you happy, not this is what I feel like you should be doing to better your life, or this is what your future should look like. It was more of what can I do, or what resources can I help you that'll make you happy in the future and make you happy right now.
Probably the most supportive thing they did for me was just to make sure I had everything I needed before I came, whether it be for my room in my residence hall, or making sure they did their taxes on time so I could do my FAFSA. It was just, they were always asking, what can I do to help you? Instead of saying, let me do this for you, or, just taking the initiative for it. They let me do it, but they were always there to be like, how can I assist you?
A way that my parents could have supported me to make the transition easier was to just listen. When I would tell them about a problem, not to necessarily give feedback or solutions, but just to listen to my problems, listen to me vent, and then afterwards give me the advice.
You are like that baby, and you are this little kid I just gave birth to yesterday. So it's just you have to do what I tell you to do. So I would say, first of all, the advice I'll give to parents is relax, trust your students, and just let them be, but check on them weekly, and they'll be good.
Sometimes you just need that person to talk to that's not around here or not one of your friends, just to let them hear you talk, and then they should think about it and then get back to you, because they don't know what's going on here.
Well, I think it's hard for parents to step back because they've been such a huge part of their student's life since, they were born. But it's been 18 years of that, and they just don't know what to do without their student. And so, my mom, when I left, she got a dog. And so when I go home, it's always the dog is her baby now. So it's just all about them finding hobbies or something to, I don't want to say fill the void of their student, but they just really don't know how to handle their student being away.
Just give them space. Let them find themselves. College is about letting students find themselves. So let them find themselves, let them develop what or who they are meant to be.
Well, they were really supportive, but I think what they could have done a little bit better was maybe take a further step back than what they did, because they were always so, oh, you need to do this now, or this, that, and the other. But I think they were really good at just being there, and I think that's something parents really need to keep in mind, is just be there for their student. But what they could have done better, yeah, I don't know, I guess just take a further step back.
I don't know how to say it, but they actually let me grow financially because I was really dependent on them for whole, like coming from high school, I was really dependent on them. But my dad was like, man, you need to like get a job, support yourself. I was like, I thought that was mean, but looking back then and now, he actually like helped me a lot because like I didn't know what it was like working, actually like getting the paycheck like it worked for. Like it's I don't know, but it actually like gives you this sense of, I don't know, sense of actually like you earned something.
Don't be afraid to check in on them once a week, whether it be a phone call or a text message, because sometimes we get so lost in what we're doing at school that we just forget to call home, or we forget to be like, hey, how's the dog, Mom? But it really means a lot to us when you send that text or you call us or that FaceTime once a week just to say, hey, I love you. Is there anything I need? Do you need to talk about anything? Because it really does mean the world.
The most difficult conversation I had to have with my family about college is when I made a C in my first class.
I had to have a difficult conversation with my parents. It was about first semester, sophomore year. I was kind of going through some different things on campus and social activities that just kind of ended and put a big hold on kind of where I was at in college.
I was nervous to tell them that they would be disappointed, but after I told them, they helped me take better steps into making better grades.
I just had to go home and just talk to them about it and work out with them, ways that would help me the best. And, if that was moving me home or if that was helping me find resources here that'll help me best, and just having that line of communication open between me and them to figure out what's going to work best so I can have the best time here.
My biggest conversation I've had to have with my parents about college is not joining bad gang, actually, because for some reason they thought like because I joined a fraternity, so it's like, oh, you have joined a gang now, and that was like the most difficult conversation I've actually had with them.
The most difficult conversation has probably been when I changed my major, because I was a pre-engineering student, and that's something they've always wanted me to do. They always wanted me to transfer to Georgia Tech and be this huge engineer, but that just wasn't for me when I got into the classes. So when I told them I wanted to switch to anthropology, I felt like it was a huge disappointment for them, because I felt like I was ruining all their dreams. But it was great for me to be able to sit there and talk to them and have that conversation. So it's a growing process for both parties.
I actually like sat down and explained everything to them, my fraternal values, my academic work, like how my fraternity will not like becloud my academic my academic work in school, like because they think joining a fraternity would be like just spoil everything academically, like you go to parties and whatnot, but no, like fraternities is supposed to like help you and your academic career grow. But so I actually like let them start and explain to them, so they actually like accepted the change and it was all good.
I think they settled with it because my first semester as an anthropology student, they saw how much happier I was. It instantly made me love learning again instead of just being so dragged down by the hard rigor of engineering, and I wasn't happy with what I was learning. I was kind of bored, and it just didn't interest me as much as I thought it would.
The misconceptions that students and parents have about college is definitely the partying. When I first came to college, I thought it would be a party every single day, every hour of the day, and I soon realized it wasn't.
I feel the biggest misconception parents have about students is this whole idea of college being this freedom land where students just go to and become more like wild, but it's really not.
College isn't just a social aspect. It's there's a lot of, like with the academics, there's a lot of on-campus things that you can get involved with. It's not just about partying and everything you see in the movies. There's so much more on campus to do and be involved with, and there's a lot of different people you can meet here.
I mean, most students are here for the right reasons. So it's just based on what what is important to the student. Because going off to college for me, with me being from Nigeria, my parents were just like, so you're gonna be free right now, like you just have a lot of freedom. So I mean, yes, college is where there's freedom, but I would say biggest misconception is they think students are going to be free and just become loose and just go out of control, but that's not really the case.
Yes, there are parties that go on, but students don't go to every single one of them, and they actually do go to class and get their work done.
Being free, you can actually use the freedom to your advantage, try to become more of a responsible person.
If I could go back, there would be steps that I would take to ensure that I had a better college career, but also to get involved once you get here, because that completely changes the experience you're gonna have here.
I love it, especially here at West Georgia. Like, I actually love it here in college. So because you get to like meet people, different kind of people actually.
I feel like I got involved too late, and now that I'm involved, I love it, and I feel more connected to the campus and the community. So I wish I would have done that my freshman year instead of my junior year.
You connected, you feel more connected, you get to meet people who are just like you, people who are much more different than you, and you actually like feel connected with them also.
It was hard for me to kind of have to step out of my shell and like walk out to those clubs and organizations and get involved. So I just had people in my life who I saw as role models, and seeing them do and get involved pushed me to do it.
So there was this quote back when I was a freshman that my dad left me with. He came and visited me, so I know we talked, we had lunch, and he took me out, and okay, cool. So he was about to go, and he said, David, go find yourself.